Hey there! Today I want to show you what I did with an old power supply from inside a old defunct computer. G3 Power Mac, big one with the plastic on the outside. Took it apart and this is the power supply from the inside. This is the original power supply. Now it came with obviously a whole bunch of these ribbon connectors that went to all the different components throughout the computer. And I didn't need all that. In fact, I recycled some of the wires. So I cut them all off here and left one for testing purposes. And then I hot glued over the ends so that they wouldn't short. Still want to be careful. Now I also had an old multimeter that had a broken lead. So I went ahead and just put that on there and then wired it in to a switch that I involved here. This is an old automotive switch I had lying around. It's a lighted switch, so I wanted to take advantage of that. So when this ATX power supply lives inside the computer, it won't turn on until somebody comes and physically presses the button on the front of the computer. Since it no longer lives inside the computer, we have to simulate that button, which I did here with this switch. It's pretty simple. In this case, I looked up the pinout, and the green wire is labeled PC on, and it just needs to make contact with any ground. So I have a ground coming in, and then I added my voltmeter on top of that ground. PC on coming in, and that's on the switch side. Now I also have 5 volts coming in and the positive side of my voltmeter so we can see the current. Now I made 2 marks here. This is 5 volts and 12 volts, and the 5 volts is actually a standby power that's constantly on. Even though it doesn't come out of these leads, it's constantly on through here. And I believe that was to power USB powered devices on the computer. So as I plug it in, and then I'm going to turn on the circuit, you see the 5 volt standby. And now turn on my switch, which is emulating somebody turning on the power on the old computer, and there we go, there's our 12 volts. And you probably can't hear it, but the fan's running now. Also, the power supply is supplying all of these pins with either positive voltage or ground. So I'll go ahead. What's great about it is you now have multiple different direct current voltages to play with, and they are within the range of emulating different battery packs. You have 3 volts, 5 volts, 5 plus volts, 5 minus volts for between 4 and 6 AA batteries, and then of course 12 volts. Now plug ground of my multimeter in here. This one is this is a sacrifice multimeter just to tell you that the unit is on, plus the light. Oh, also this is the back of the original computer that I very carefully pop riveted onto the frame here. Now I hope you can see the multimeter, and it's gonna, there we have 3.37 constant DC current. That's awesome. Another at 3.37. This is the high side 5.5 volt. This is 5.17. So this would be like your higher draw USB type powered stuff. And over here is the low side 4.9. This would be more battery powered type stuff. And then 12 volt side, which is just shy of 12 volts, which is interesting to me, but there's a lot of amperage behind it, so there's plenty of actual current. So what's great about that is it, like I said, it emulates different battery packs. So when you're doing hobby builds and whatnot, you can test the stuff with this power supply and a couple of leads, or even make up some clips, and I can show you how to do that in another video. But as you can see here, fully charged brand new AA alkaline battery is typically 1.673 volts, and so 2 of those is 3.3, and I love that about this. So that's a repurposed ATX power supply with a couple of add-ons I did myself. I hope this helped somebody. I hope it was cool to watch. Right. Thanks for watching. Take care.